Coming up on Energy TV, we talk about mergers and acquisitions in the oil patch.
So this oil and gas sector, in particular the junior end of the sector, or junior intermediate end of the sector, has had some severe body blows in the last couple of years.
We shine a spotlight on the industry.
We like to get involved in the communities that we work, and it's important that we're training the next generation of students to come into the workforce. When I was a high school student, I had no concept of what I wanted to do, but it's events like these that really spur on these kids to do well in school and stay in school, such that they know there is a great career path to follow in the future for them.
And we profile hybrid truck technology in Tech Bits.
The overall cost of operating a trucking company has increased dramatically over the last few years. And what we're trying to do here is find ways to help them control those costs.
The following is brought to you by Halliburton. Halliburton, from Canada, for Canada.
So welcome to Energy TV. I'm Helena DeVries, and I'm coming to you from Banff, and of course the beautiful Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Now, when it comes to the oil and gas industry, there are a number of mavericks and legends. Now, one you may or may not know about is James Pasieka. He's a partner with national law firm Heenan Blakey, but has a wide variety of business and legal experience in the energy industry. Currently, he works on mergers and acquisitions. Now, of course, in 2008, it was a bit of a tough time for M&A activity in the oil and gas sector, but 2009 looks better. Here's what he has to say.
As reserve reports come out for public companies, which generally is in the first 60 days of the year, I think we're going to see a flurry of candidates, and no one wants to be the last one at the dance with no dance partners, so look for it.
Mergers and acquisitions in the oil patch were pretty much non-existent in the last part of 2008 due to the huge drop in the price of oil coupled with the financial crisis. And James Pasieka, who negotiates, structures and closes these deals, is anxious, like everyone else in the industry, to see a turnaround. Pasieka is a partner with Heenan Blakey, but he's been involved in the energy industry in one form or another for many years.
I've had pure business roles, pure legal roles, and various hybrid roles as well over the years. I've been lucky to work with some terrific people, negotiated or closed transactions on 6 different continents over the years. We haven't been to Antarctica yet.
Obviously, Pasieka has met and worked with his share of oil and gas executives, and when describing those in the industry, Pasieka uses words like resilient and upbeat, and he says that never-say-die attitude will be needed to get through this market chaos.
We've seen in the last half year such volatility in the crude oil price, and that's superimposed on in the last 4 months of 2008, a major calamity in the financial markets and a credit crisis. And so transactions in 2008, in the back half of 2008, have been few in terms of M&A activity in the oil and gas business in Canada and worldwide.
The last few months have been particularly hard on junior companies who really haven't been given any breaks.
It started in October 31st of 06 with the income tax changes to royalty trusts and income trusts. So then we had the new royalty framework with the Alberta government. We've had environmental regulation that is still uncertain as to the real impacts. So this oil and gas sector, in particular the junior end of the sector, or junior intermediate end of the sector, has had some severe body blows in the last couple of years.
Pasieka does see some improvement ahead in 2009, likely later in the year, as the volatile markets settle down a bit. He says somehow these hard-hit companies will find a way to come back, but they're definitely going to have to change the way they do things.
Companies need to hunker down, live within their cash flow, and if that means laying off drilling and seeing declines set in, then that's what has to happen, because there is no presently material access to capital in the public markets, and debt financing is much more limited than it ever was, and you don't want to drill on debt.
Pasieka expects several things to happen this year. He says mergers and acquisitions are going to pick up significantly as small companies need to merge to increase their cash flow and reduce their cost of capital. He says costs for oil companies are going to come down with layoffs in the service sector. And Pasieka says within the next year or two, the worldwide supply of oil will drop, and that will push the price of oil back up. Helena DeVries, Energy TV.
So, of course, the current economic crisis is affecting every sector of the economy, and even the large oil and gas producers. In fact, one of Canada's largest oil and gas producers is no exception. But one company is staying true to its conservative fiscal policy. More on that in this next story.
So in today's economy, how do you handle the markets when you're ranked Canada's 4th largest oil and gas producer? Well, as its capital and expenditure program for 2009 suggests, Petro-Canada is keeping flexible.
To be flexible enough to respond to whatever the business environment turns out to be. We're going to follow very closely both the commodity price markets, because that impacts our cash flow, our ability to fund, if you like. And we're also going to be following very closely the financial markets, because that impacts our ability to borrow if we chose to do so.
This year's outlook is down significantly from 2008, but it's a philosophy that allows the company some room to adjust. Petro-Canada believes that its conservative finance plans are what allows it to stay focused in these tough economic times.
We kept our leverage ratios on our balance sheet always in check, and anticipating that we were going to be coming into a fairly heavy capital program with the Fort Hills project.
The Fort Hills project is one of the company's interests in the oil sands, but Brenneman doesn't seem worried about the new royalty structure, as its overall interests are diversified.
Because we're in the oil sands, because we're off the east coast of Canada, we have a big international business, we have a big refining and marketing business. When you put it in perspective, it's important, but it's not overwhelming. And even within that natural gas business, we are in Alberta, and that's our core operation. But we're also in Northeast BC, and we're in the U.S. Rockies.
Brenneman says $2 billion will be directed to new growth projects, and 2 are already underway for 2009. One is an extension of an existing oil field off the east coast of Canada, and another is a gas project in Syria. So despite the market conditions, he believes Petro-Canada is in a good position to weather the storm.
We also extended our bank lines from 3 years to 5 years and bumped them up considerably, so that we're sitting in a situation where we're in very good shape financially to be able to weather this downturn. If you combine that with the kind of flexibility that we have in our capital program, we can ride this through really quite successfully.
And when things pick up, that's when Brenneman believes the company's flexibility will really factor in.
When the turnaround does occur, you want to be able to bring back projects that can be attractive, and really that's a time of opportunity if you're in very good shape. So that's part of the reason that we want to stay in very good shape riding through the downturn here.
Chad Carrier, Energy TV.
So overall, Petro-Canada is looking at $4 billion of capital and exploration expenditures in 2009. Now, coming up after the break, it's been an issue in the oil and gas industry for some time now. I'm talking about a shortage of skilled workers. One company thinks it has a solution. More on that when we return.
Portions of this program are brought to you by Niblack Mining.
The following is brought to you by Halliburton. Halliburton, from Canada, for Canada.
So welcome back to Energy TV. I'm Helena DeVries, and I'm coming to you from the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, of course, in the beautiful town of Banff. Now, one of the issues facing the oil and gas industry will continue to be that of labor shortages. At this point in time, it's a little bit mitigated as a result of the economic crisis and circumstances, but make no mistake, it will be an issue for many years to come. And one company out of Scotland believes it has a tool to help some high school kids determine that perhaps they might want to look at a career in oil and gas in the future. Here's a look.
With a shortage of skilled workers in the oil and gas industry, HR departments are always on the lookout for potential employees. Now they've got a new tool that's designed to encourage high school students to consider an oil and gas career. Industry Spotlight is already used in every high school in Scotland, and now it's coming to Alberta.
I think not just here in Alberta, but globally, there's a huge skills issue for highly trained, highly experienced individuals. Now, oil companies have now looked at this and realised that they need to start investing in the young and in the future, because they can't find people with 10 years experience in petroleum engineering anymore, because not a lot of the companies were hiring 10 years ago. So now what they've realised is that this is a mid to long-term approach, and by engaging with young people at high school level, that's where the next professionals are going to be.
Industry Spotlight Canada is an interactive DVD and website, including a series of short films which focus on young people working in the industry. 4 major sponsors are behind the initiative: Pengrowth, Finning, Talisman, and Total, and they were all brought together recently, along with about 400 high school students, at a career fair.
We like to get involved in the communities that we work, and it's important that we're training the next generation of students to come into the workforce. When I was a high school student, I had no concept of what I wanted to do, but it's events like these that really spur on these kids to do well in school and stay in school, such that they know there is a great career path to follow in the future for them.
We had previously and still spend a lot of time at the university level, but trying to attract people to our company. But we started to feel that it was equally important to focus some energy on people who are still deciding what to study in university and deciding which career to go into, and get the word out about the great careers that exist in the energy industry, and in doing so also put a positive name in the community to Talisman itself, but also just to our industry in general.
Alberta education plays a big part in the Industry Spotlight product. The DVD content is produced under Alberta Education Guidelines, and the ministry will also be creating the teaching plan to go along with the series.
Now with the DVDs and the internet and getting out and distance type learning for them as well, it's not just the classic career counselor sitting in a room with a book flipping through the career you want to go through. It's a lot more self-directed learning, sitting down with their families in their living rooms and on their computers deciding what they want to do. So I think this really hits home with them as the new way of learning.
You need to deliver the right message in the right way in order to get their attention, and I think I think both the end product, the DVD itself, as well as the approach to this event was on the mark.
When I got here, I was kind of like, didn't really know what it was going to be about or anything, but like with the visuals and stuff, and it really helps knowing, it really helps to show you what you're looking at and stuff.
With the help of Alberta Education, the plan is to get Industry Spotlight into every high school in the province.
So, of course, we're here at the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, and as vital as tourism is to our economy, so is transportation and trucking. Now, that sector, too, has seen ups and downs as a result of fuel prices, so an alternative is being looked at, and it certainly is a sign of the times. Here's more in Tech Biz.
To say doing business in today's economy is costly would be an understatement. When it comes to the trucking and transportation industry, the basic operational costs make up a huge component of doing business.
The overall cost of operating a trucking company has increased dramatically over the last few years. And what we're trying to do here is find ways to help them control those costs.
One way to do this is through the introduction of this medium-duty diesel-electric hybrid truck. It's technology that reduces demand of diesel on the system. Depending on the make and model, it does retail at a higher price than traditional trucks, but over time it can provide cost relief in diesel and of course other environmentally friendly solutions.
We're utilizing electric power to supplement the diesel power and therefore reduce the demand on, the pollutants that go into the atmosphere, the greenhouse effect, that type of stuff.
Hybrid vehicles aren't exactly a new technology, but to implement it in such a large truck is a feat in itself. In terms of its operation, a hybrid motor generator is used to start the truck, and when put into drive on a normal throttle condition, it relies on 100% electric power, much like a golf cart.
As the demand for acceleration increases, then we bring the engine off of an idle to match the speed requirement and blend the power between the diesel engine and the electrics of the hybrid system to give a blended power and again keep the demand low for diesel. Okay? Once the speed gets up to full highway speed, then you're running 100% on the diesel.
The immediate benefit is on startup to get the vehicle up and running. However, when it comes to charging the system, it resembles certain smaller hybrids on the market in that it has a regenerative braking system, meaning there is no need to stop and recharge the truck.
We charge it as the vehicle slows down. That power that you'd be putting into your brake pads or your brake shoes, creating heat and dissipating that heat into the air, we're taking that energy and utilizing it to charge the batteries themselves.
As for battery life, Schilling says on average it should last 5 to 6 years in Canada, although more testing is to be done in the next year or so to confirm. The fact that hybrid technology is now offered in the trucking industry certainly is a testament to the times. Schilling believes it will only become more advanced and streamlined as the technology progresses.
It's come a long ways, and it will continue to develop as battery technology develops, as motor generator technology develops. As the componentry gets better, the systems will get better.
The goal for this particular hybrid truck is to enhance fuel economy by up to 50% in utility operations and by up to 30% in pickup and delivery applications. Chad Carrier, Energy TV.
And interesting to note, the hybrid trucks are now available in Canada. Now, coming up after the break, we'll tell you why solar is going global. More on that when we return.
Closed captioning provided by thehospitalityguide.com. This segment brought to you by miningindustrytv.com.
So welcome back to Energy TV. We're coming to you from the beautiful Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. You can't beat Banff on a beautiful sunny day. And speaking of sunshine, solar has been a relatively small part of the global energy mix. But you know what? That's changing and increasing, obviously, in popularity as a result of its environmentally friendly impact. So companies like China-based Suntech are really looking to expand into the global market. Here's more in Going Green.
Solar energy is quickly becoming an important part of the global energy mix. Cutting-edge innovation surrounds the sector, and in a short time, companies like Suntech have risen to design and manufacture solar energy solutions for various applications customers.
We have since grown to become the largest manufacturer of solar cells and modules globally. So we basically, this year, we're probably going to ship 550 megawatts worth of modules. Next year, we're ready, targeted to ship at least 1,000 megawatts. And so, we are the industry leader in that respect.
With technological innovations like its Pluto panels, Suntech says it's finding ways to deliver high conversion efficiencies when it comes to generating solar energy.
On our traditional monocrystalline cells, on our conventional lines, we're producing at about 16.5, 16.8% conversion efficiency. The Pluto lines that are running right now can get up to 18.5 to 19%. So we'll actually see, for every increase in conversion efficiency, we'll see, roughly speaking, a 6% incremental power generation output, and also a 6% higher margin.
Suntech expects its Pluto technology to have an impact on the market very soon.
we're able to actually achieve that 2% increase in purchase efficiency, we'll see probably like a 12% increase in margins for the same cost structure that we have today. And that's going to roll through the lines sometime in the middle of next year, starting next year.
Suntech originated just outside of Shanghai, China, and has since grown its manufacturing base principally in that country, as well as Japan.
The goal is really to replicate our low-cost manufacturing model so that we can actually set up manufacturing closer to our key selling geographies. That would be in Europe and the United States.
Realizing the potential the U.S. market has to offer, Suntech announced a number of strategic initiatives that will increase its U.S. operations.
We've also signed a joint venture with the largest project developer in the U.S. to together work on project development opportunities, which could enable us to have like multiple projects that are many hundreds of megawatts each project that were forward priced in the next like 3 to 5 years.
It's the market opportunities that have Suntech looking forward to building its business in the future.
We're leveraging upon that to build a much more diversified business model beyond selling modules and cells.
Chad Carrier, Energy TV.
Well, that's this episode of Energy TV. Of course, you can catch our show online at energytv.com. And of course, don't forget to watch us next week and log on to our website often for updates on hot topics. We thank you for watching. And of course, from beautiful Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, we'll see you next time.
This program brought to you by realinvestmentstv.com.
Wonder if I should take off my jacket. Stay a while. Alrighty, and I'm coming to you from Banff, and of course the beautiful Banff Springs Hotel, Fairmont, sorry. Okay, hair, everything good? Any spot? Yeah? Okay. Three toe. So welcome back to Energy TV. I'm Helena DeVries, and I'm coming to you from Banff, and of course the beautiful Banff. Good, we're done.